Are you all with me? Have you all opened the website, POSHANtracker.in? Okay. Now, I hope you all have your respective credentials to log in. Please log in. Okay. Once you log in, you will be landed on the dashboard. So we call this the internal dashboard, where you can, once we select Manipur, for June 2022, that is the last completed month, you will be able to see all the details. This, all, of course, will always be stagnant. 16 districts, 43 projects, 391 sectors, itne Anganwadi centers, 11,511. Anganwadi workers are also equal, which is really good. And the eligible beneficiaries, 3,61,129. We also have how many days the Anganwadi centers were open at least one day and also open for at least 20 days. This is all June data as on 30th of June. Then we have the bifurcation of the eligible beneficiaries, all the categories. You can see how many beneficiaries are there. Then the Aadhaar, how many beneficiaries Aadhaar has been verified. So this number, I think we have to work on Manipur. It's showing 24.43%. And I believe that in application per se, from Aadhaar perspective, data entry, we don't have any challenges, right? As we have seen in during the application walkthrough. So please let us know if there is something else that is hampering this number. Do you think that this number is the right number, or you feel that whatever is being verified is not displaying here correctly? Not displaying here correctly, okay. So this basically, particularly this report, it's coming directly from the database of application. So whatever is entered on the application is reflected here. There is absolutely no mismatch that would happen. So we'll have to check at the application level if the verification has correctly happened or not, or are there cases that has gone into error, okay? So please do check that. Then the last section, we have all the key services that are given to the beneficiaries. So all those percentages and numbers are mentioned here. So this is basically just a snapshot of everything that is being done by the Anganwadi worker. So this is the dashboard. Now coming to the current month reports. So we have divided all the reports into two parts, the current month and the monthly reports. Current month basically talks about the present calendar month which is going on. So right now we are in July. So till July end, all the data whichever will come will reflect in the current month's report from 1st of July to the end of July. So let's go one by one. Beneficiaries. So here this report, I'll select Manipur. Since I've logged in from the national user, I can see all the states. But I believe all of you who have logged in can only see Manipur as by default state. Is it? Yeah? Okay. So here we can see the total number of beneficiaries in each district. If you select the district sector, we can go till the Anganwadi center level, but it will basically show you the total number of beneficiaries active. So by default, if you see, the filter is selected as active. If you select inactive, so it will also show you the data for all the beneficiaries that has been made inactive for each of the center or the district. We have the count of lactating mothers, all the categories basically till the adults and girl. You can also download this report. It will be downloaded in the Excel format so that you get a snapshot of it for your reference. And also this date is very important, last updated date and time. So all the current month reports will be for the previous day. So if today we are on 28th, usually all the current month reports will show you the data up till 27th. T minus 1, today minus 1. Why it is so? Because if we would have taken the real-time data, the application entry and the syncing of the reports takes some time. So what used to happen is, earlier we used to have real-time data. यहाँ पर application में आंगनवाड़ी worker ने data डाला, थोड़े time बाद वहाँ पे supervisors और सब लोग check करे dashboard में क्या count आया है. But उसमें क्या होता था, बहुत सारा confusion create हो जाता था. आंगनवाड़ी worker बोलता था हमने डाला है, वहाँ dashboard पे time लगता है reflect करने में, तो counts कभी match नहीं हो पा रहे थे. Now with this T-1, previous day का data sync हो चुका है. So there is absolutely no gaps कि we are talking about different numbers. It has to be same as what is being reflected on the application side. So that is the objective of making the reports as on the previous date. Any questions on this report? Have you explored all these reports? Do you use this? Yes? Okay, great. So here if you see, because nobody said about that we need to check the Aadhaar status. So this report also talks about your Aadhaar status. If you choose the drop down, we have mobile verified cases, mobile unverified, how many cases are there, how many Aadhaar has been verified, how many Aadhaar has not been verified, and how many Aadhaar are in the verified error status. So here in the Aadhaar, we have three statuses. Verified is clear, unverified is clear, Aadhaar verified error. These are all the cases where there is some kind of data mismatch that is there from the Aadhaar to the application, that error status which comes. So let's check the Aadhaar verified thing. So if you see, there are very few, I mean, I'm checking this district, Ukhrul. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but there are 7293 beneficiaries, out of which 372 lactating mothers, 583. So I think this total is still way behind the numbers. And unverified details also we can check. These are the unverified numbers. So basically 6 months to 3 years of children, there are 33,238 unverified children. 3 to 6 years, 43,856 unverified children. And adolescents, girls, 11,347. So these are the numbers where absolutely nothing has been done. No verification has been clicked by the Anganwadi workers. So we still have long way to go for the Aadhaar seeding. Okay? So please ask the Anganwadi workers to, start verifying the cases, at least where Aadhaar is entered already. Coming to our next report, which is measuring efficiency. So here we are taking into consideration children from 0 to 6 years. This will basically give you a snapshot of, let me select Manipur. This will tell you how many total children are there from 0 to 6 years of age. Now this total number of children is count of both active and inactive children. Inactive children who has been made inactive in this month, not from the start, okay? So total active children plus those inactive children who were measured while they were active and then made inactive. Then we have the total children measured and the percentages of children measured. So here also if we look at the data, only 24% children have been measured in growth monitoring. So this number is very low for Manipur for growth monitoring. So not sure what is the reason, because application in growth monitoring, as we have seen, we can enter the height and weight without any difficulties. Here also we have the last updated date. So this is the data as on yesterday. You can check your respective districts and centers and check what is where, what is wrong. Any questions? Are we all clear? Okay. So measuring efficiency is one of the criteria for incentives, but that is being calculated from the monthly reports. We'll come to that. Now the daily monitoring. This will give you the daily ka status of the center, whether it's open or not. Again for the previous day. So how many total Anganwadi centers are there? How many were open? How many total Anganwadi workers logged in? So basically see, I believe that these numbers are low of open Anganwadi centers because right now the centers are closed, right? So that is why if you see the login is 698, but the centers have been opened only 89 times. Ideally the first step after logging in is to open or close the center. So is it because that the centers are closed? Anyone? Is that the reason? Since when is the centers closed? Anganwadi centers? Somewhere around 12th, okay. Okay. So this is, okay. Let's take 7th. Yes. So this is now giving the correct picture that 859 login were there and 952 times the Anganwadi centers were open. Okay. So I think the only reason is that the centers are closed. That is why the numbers for center open is less. Now it also gives us the number of total children from 3 to 6 years, out of which how many children attended, morning snacks given, HCM given. Now we had a doubt from somebody who had raised the concern that morning snacks and HCM count is not coming. So if we see here, I mean, if that would have been the case, although we'll still get it checked, not a problem by the center details that we have. But if you see here, we are able to see the data. Whichever center is entering, like here 81, 51, somewhere it's 0 also. But if in one place, one district, if we are able to see the data, there shouldn't be any challenge that the other district is entering and the data is not getting displayed. If that would have been the case, no district should be able to see the data. For everybody here, it would have been 0. Let us check some recent ones. See here, I have taken the date as 25th July. And here if you see, total children attended 691, morning snacks given 513, total HCM given 497, which is a pretty good number. And basically in all the districts, I can see some of the other data. So if a particular center is showing 0, that means they are not entering it properly. So please get it checked once. Although ma'am in blue, I think you have raised this question that in front of you the data was entered and it's still not reflecting. We thought about it and one of the reasons could be the offline data entry. So if the daily tracking entry has been done in the offline mode, it will take 3 days to reflect on the dashboard once the Anganwadi worker goes in the online mode. Okay, so that could be one reason why the data is not reflecting, because offline and online it takes some time to data to get synced and then reflect on the dashboard. Are we clear here? Yes? Can I hear a louder yes from everyone? Okay. Okay. All right. So this talks about every day ka thing, one day what was the status of each district or center. Now the other report, Anganwadi Center Operation Report, it talks about for the current month together, whatever date we are on, till the previous date, how many days the center was open. But for this, we'll have to select a specific, all the filters. Unless we select that, it will not show us the data. I'm randomly picking up any one district. Okay. So here I have taken Bishnupur and Ishok Naurem. So here it shows that number of days Anganwadi center open are 10. So out of 28 days so far in July, 10 times the center was open. I believe because you said that since 12th or 14th the center was closed. So I guess that is why the numbers are low. But here I can see 17 for the center, 15 for the center. Okay. So you all can, select your own filter criteria and check the result. If you have anything to say or share or any inputs, please do share. Then the next, this is a recent report that we have added of home visit in current month. So we were getting a lot of queries that, you're not able to monitor the daily home visit activities that the Anganwadi workers are doing. Because in the monthly reports, you can only see once the month is completed. So only the previous month's data you can see. So that is why in current month, we have included the home visit report. Okay. Here also it will show T-1 data. The home visits, for each district, here it's showing the total Anganwadi workers. How many targeted visits were there? So basically the home visits criteria here we have taken into consideration pregnant women, lactating mothers and children from 0 to 2 years. Because that is where the incentives comes into picture. So these are the categories of beneficiaries where the total targeted visits and total visits made by Anganwadi worker is calculated. And accordingly, the percent of visits made is done. So I think out of all the districts, Imphal East has the highest number of home visits that has been made. Who's from Imphal East district? Okay. 3 projects. So 61.58%. Okay, any questions on the current month reports? Are we all clear? Any doubts in any of the reports? Please don't hesitate. This is the time to ask. सबको सब समझ में आ रहा है? Okay. Now moving on to the monthly reports. The first one is supplementary nutrition. So as I mentioned earlier, that monthly reports, you can only see the data of the previous completed month. So if right now we are in July, we'll be able to see the data of June, right? June and the previous months. So here the report supplementary nutrition, it will tell you about the take-home ration, how many category wise. So for pregnant women, how many pregnant women are actually there? And out of those, how many have received supplementary nutrition and the percent of it. Similarly, the next column talks about the beneficiaries who have received supplementary nutrition for more than 20 days. The percentage are really, really low. So is it because of Aadhaar seeding? Yeah? Okay. So see, everything is linked. Once if you focus and work on the Aadhaar seeding, automatically I think the other report numbers will also look better. And also we have HCM, the last section, which talks about 3 to 6 years of children. Yes, ma'am? Yeah. Yeah, so if the Anganwadi centers are closed, it will impact your daily tracking reports, Anganwadi center reports, not this, not the THR reports. This is for June. And this is June. Yes, this is not for July. We are now in monthly reports. So yes, Aadhaar is one of the problem areas. So you all have to really, push, work out with Anganwadi workers how they can increase the numbers of Aadhaar seeding. Okay, it was not given. Why? Because of Aadhaar. Then? Acha. Okay. That is something outside of this application and dashboard purview. So we won't be able to help much on that front. Okay, so that is the reason why the numbers are low. Okay. All right. Now coming to our next report, which is the anemia report. So here basically anemia it's for 3 categories: pregnant woman, lactating mother, adolescent girl. So if the hemoglobin level, so the anemia is calculated based on the hemoglobin entered on the application, right? So below is the range. If for lactating mother, if the hemoglobin is below 12, for pregnant woman, if the hemoglobin entered is below 10.5, and for adolescent girl, if it is below 12, then that particular beneficiary is considered to be an anemic beneficiary, right? Health status anemic. And those counts will reflect here. But I think in Manipur, it's really good. I mean, not many people are anemic. So the health status sounds to be really nice here. Looks good. Out of 98,900, about 92, 58 and 68 adults and girls are anemic, falling under the anemic category. This report looks good for Manipur. Then this is a new report. Basically, it is not of much relevance right now for the states, but still we have this report, so I'll just talk about it. So SNP projections. So basically, what the ministry is planning to do is that based on, okay, let me first select the filters. Okay, so based on the total number of beneficiaries, it will decide on the number of packets or the ration or the allocation of budget, which will be given to each state or district, right? So this is why we have made this report of SNP projections. So it will project that how much supplementary nutrition needs to be given to each state for distributing it amongst the beneficiaries. So this is the data. This is now not being used, but it is going to be used soon. So here, if your numbers are low, if the entries are not being made, the SNP provided to the states will also be less. Coming to our next section, anybody has any questions so far? No? Okay. Now, Anganwadi Center. So we have a couple of reports in this section. The first one is Anganwadi Center. Okay. So here it will basically give you the total number of Anganwadi centers. Also, it will give you the bifurcations of how many centers are active and how many are inactive. Okay. This is, I think, a very straightforward reports that we are looking at. Also, just as an additional information, nothing to do with this report, but basically, if an Anganwadi center is not mapped to any Anganwadi worker, it comes under the unregistered Anganwadi center. And if, of course, if a center is there active, there has to be Anganwadi worker. Only then that center will be considered under the registered status in POSHAN tracker. Have you ever had a look at these statuses, registered or unregistered Anganwadi centers? Yes? Okay. The next report is Anganwadi Center Infrastructure. So this again is a straightforward report where it will give you the counts of the infrastructure status. So we had seen in the application Anganwadi Center Infrastructure, right? So whatever data is input there, it reflects here in this report. How many rented or private, Anganwadi centers are there, how many are owned or government one, building ownership spaces. So based on whatever is entered in the application, the numbers will reflect here in this report. The next report is Anganwadi Center Staff. This is an important report. Ma'am, you have any doubt? Okay. So this report basically talks about the total number of Anganwadi centers which are operational, which are active, and then out of those Anganwadi centers, how many Anganwadi workers are there, how many helpers are there, and how many workers are or helpers are there which are on additional charge, Anganwadi workers on additional charge. Can somebody explain the concept of additional charge, Anganwadi worker on an additional charge? Anyone? Yes. Yes, absolutely right. Yes. If a center has a vacancy, that is, there is no Anganwadi worker mapped at that moment, so, and from some other center or some other person has been appointed on additional charge for this center. So, that's where that Anganwadi worker is marked as Anganwadi but on additional charge. So, that is why although one center can have one Anganwadi worker mapped, but one Anganwadi worker can be mapped to two centers. One as the main Anganwadi worker and second as Anganwadi worker on additional charge. Is this clear or it was confusing? Clear? Okay, can somebody repeat it for me? Now it's confusing, isn't it? Please, ma'am. You got it? Yes, please, can you please repeat? It's okay, you can sit and say. Yes, yes. Perfect, perfect. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Okay. So this is what the number this report gives. So as we can see here, although this is June ka report, so I'm not sure if the work has been done in the past 1 month to make the numbers down for Anganwadi workers. Because for Bishnupur, if I see, the total Anganwadi centers are 972, but we have Anganwadi workers 1061. Ideally, it cannot be more than 972. Similarly for other centers. I think almost all centers we have more Anganwadi workers than the center that are operational. So please do check. This is June ka report. So if you have already made the additional Anganwadi worker, additional, I mean the duplicate Anganwadi workers inactive, then we can check it in the July ka report. But as of now, this is the status. So do you all know how to make the Anganwadi workers inactive if there are 2 Anganwadi workers mapped to a center? Okay, let's see that, how to do it. So from this report, we can see that, okay, there are few centers where multiple Anganwadi workers are mapped. Because earlier there was no validation on the system. We could add as many Anganwadi workers. So if in case एक आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर चली जाती है कहीं पे, तो वो रिकॉर्ड वैसे ही रह जाता था और दूसरा एक रिकॉर्ड हम ऐड करते थे. तो उस चक्कर में बहुत सारे एक ही सेंटर पे बहुत सारे आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर्स मैप्ड हो गए थे. नाउ वी हैव टू डू ऑल द क्लीन अप एक्टिविटी to make one center and one Anganwadi worker mapping done. So in master list, we have the Anganwadi center users report. Here you can select all the filter details. I mean, I'm just randomly selecting any project, sector, name. And okay, so this particular center has only one Anganwadi worker. So nothing is to be done. And this Anganwadi worker is active. Just in case, if we have, suppose let me just take Delhi ka example. Okay. Okay, let me select Anganwadi worker. Okay, so here I've just taken our test center PTAWC. So here you can see we have so many Anganwadi workers. However, there is only one Anganwadi worker that is active, the last one. If we would have, no, we have actually 2. AAAA, this is also active. So this is ideally incorrect, right? We can't have 2 active Anganwadi workers. So what we have to do is, I'll just select the status also as active. So whichever worker is the actual worker mapped to the center who's working on the center, we'll keep that intact. One who is, okay, here we have one on additional charge and one on WO, but that also is incorrect. But if we have to make one as inactive, we'll go to the edit section. And here in the status, are you all able to follow? In the status, you have to select inactive and click on save. Right now I'm canceling it because I don't want to save this data, but otherwise you will save it, okay? So that's how you can reduce the mapping. So if your center has more than one Anganwadi worker or helper, please come here on master list, Anganwadi center user list, select that particular center details and make the record inactive, which is not operational, which Anganwadi worker is not operational. You can also add the Anganwadi center user from here. Okay. Now coming back to our Anganwadi center monthly reports. The next one is the performance incentive report for the Anganwadi workers. Okay, let's select Manipur. Okay, now can somebody tell me what are the incentive criteria for Anganwadi worker? Ma'am in yellow, would you like to say? Yes. So what is the incentive, I mean percentage? 60%. Yeah, 60%. And what is the other parameter? Not you, ma'am, somebody else. Home visit is already been covered. 60% of home visit. And what else? Growth monitoring. 80% of growth monitoring. So incentive, an Anganwadi worker will only be eligible if both the parameters are met. It's not that एक पैरामीटर, होम विजिट 60% कर लिया तो एलिजिबिलिटी नहीं आएगी, या ग्रोथ मॉनिटरिंग सिर्फ 80% कर लिया तो नहीं मिलेगा इंसेंटिव. दोनों होना चाहिए, पैरामीटर्स मीट, तभी वो आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर विल कम इन द इंसेंटिव लिस्ट हियर. ओके, सो हियर वी आर गिविंग द टोटल आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर्स कितने हैं, एंड उनमें से हाउ मेनी ऑफ देम आर एलिजिबल फॉर इंसेंटिव. I mean, the percentages are really low. No wonder Anganwadi workers are really frustrated here. Out of 1061 Anganwadi workers, only 127 has been able to meet the criteria to get incentives. Out of 607 in Chandel, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, only 29 were able to meet the criteria. And both home visit and growth monitoring should not be a challenge in entering the data in the application. So again, please get in touch with your Anganwadi workers and guide them if they are facing any problems, and please get the numbers corrected. Because you know what, even if they are doing all the efforts, they are doing the home visits, they are taking the measurements of the children, but unless they are entering it properly, when I say properly, it's like unless they get the success message in the application after entering, there is absolutely no, I mean, all her efforts will not be reflected on the dashboard. So requesting you time and again to please look at this angle. So this was the incentive report for Anganwadi workers. Now we have introduced the incentive reports for Anganwadi helpers as well. So the eligibility of Anganwadi helpers to be, to get the incentive is, this also actually we covered. Who would like to mention? When will the Anganwadi helper get the incentive? Yes, yes. Are you all reading it from the report represents and telling me? Okay, okay. So if the Anganwadi center on the application is open for at least 21 days, that Anganwadi helper will be eligible for incentive. Now, I know that because of COVID, the centers are closed, so you'll have to check how, the incentives needs to be calculated in that scenario. The next report talks about the events. Remember, we had the events page form on the application. So whatever events is being done, VHSND and CBE will get displayed here. So total Anganwadi workers, how many were there, and how many Anganwadi workers conducted the VHSND. So I'm taking Bishnupur. So Bishnupur total Anganwadi workers are 1061 as on June. Out of 1061, 186 Anganwadi workers conducted VHSND. So the percent is 186 by 1061 into 100, which comes to 17.53%. This is for VHSND. And the second column is for CBE. At least one CBE, how many Anganwadi workers have conducted? So here 290 Anganwadi workers have conducted CBE, which makes 27.33%, which is also not a good number actually, but yeah, this is the status as of now. Now coming to home visits. So the report that we had seen for incentive, Anganwadi worker incentive, so for that calculation, home visit PI report is considered, because one of the parameters, as we know, is home visit, 60% criteria. So here if that center is reflecting, if you see here we have the total Anganwadi workers, the total visits, visits made, percentages of visit made, and how many Anganwadi workers completed 60% of home visit. So in Bishnupur, 425 Anganwadi workers completed home visit. That makes one criteria of the incentives fulfilled. Then I think Imphal East, again, I think 1196. Here also, I think Imphal East is the highest in making the home visit. Okay. now coming to, any questions here? Again, home visit here will take into consideration pregnant women, lactating mother and children from 0 to 2 years of age. Any questions? No? The second parameter report is measuring efficiency. Measuring efficiency also works on the same criteria. I mean, total number of children measured, percentage of children measured. How many Anganwadi workers completed 80% of measuring efficiency? So I would like to see Imphal East. Okay, here Imphal East, okay, is 770 out of 47,805 children. Okay, so 43% is being measured. I think out of the other districts, Imphal East is doing the best here. So now the list of these Anganwadi workers, 770, and the earlier one, I'm talking about Imphal East, and the earlier one of home visit, those Anganwadi workers who are common in both the list, they will be eligible for the incentive, the final incentive. Okay. Now the last one in this section, Anganwadi Center, is status of Anganwadi Center vacancies and reporting in PT. Okay. So here in Manipur, the total sanctioned Anganwadi centers are 11510, 11,510. But I'm coming to the N column, the C column. Here total Anganwadi centers registered with PT is 11511. So I think there is one center extra somewhere from the total sanctioned Anganwadi centers that needs to be looked into. Out of the total Anganwadi centers sanctioned, position filled are 11937, which is 103%. So as we have already seen, there are few centers where multiple Anganwadi workers have been mapped. Because of that, this number is going high. So we need to correct that through. How do we correct that? Where do we go to correct the Anganwadi workers mapping? Which report here? Yes, somebody said master list. That was right. Yes, yes. So there you'll have to correct the mapping. Okay. Now, so of course the vacant positions will be 0 because we are already beyond the 100% mark. And it also talks about, and we talked about the Anganwadi centers registered with PT. So those are the centers who have the Anganwadi workers mapped. Those are the registered centers. And the centers which were open for at least one day is 9,307. And total Anganwadi centers reporting using PT POSHAN tracker, PT's POSHAN tracker as of last month. So about 82.86% of Anganwadi centers have been using the POSHAN tracker. So which is, a nice, good number. Any questions in any of these reports so far? We have almost covered half of the reports. Any questions, any doubts? Or if you would like me to go through any report once again, please feel free. Yes, sir. Imphal West, right? L, can you spell? Am I on the right list? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here, okay, helpers are 3, 5. Yeah. That is a possibility. As I mentioned during the start, this is of June month. As on 30th June, the last day of the month. If the numbers have been corrected in July, that would reflect in the next month's report. So if the correction has already been made, please ignore. You don't have to make corrections. Please check the July month report. Once the July month ends, in August we'll be generating the July month report. There you can see these numbers should match. Okay, okay, I'll do that. So here, which particular center are we talking about? Which center? Any center? Okay, let's take this 2 and 5. Makha Lekai B. Okay, now you'll have to again guide me with the filters. Okay, I'm going to master list. Imphal West. Imphal West. Manjia Choba. Center name was? Okay, so here, okay, so here if we see, okay, yeah, you're right. So in this, I'm not sure if this was the, center that we saw there. Which center did we take where there were 5 Anganwadi helpers? Likai B? Okay. Okay. So, okay, yeah. So here it is only one Anganwadi helper which is active and one Anganwadi worker which is active. Yes, so sir, this particular master list is as on the previous day. So if we are on 28th July, this is showing you the data as on 27th of July. Okay. And here in the monthly reports, what we are seeing is June report. So what I would suggest is probably the changes have been made in July. Yeah, you have made the changes in July. So once August comes and we'll get the monthly report of July, you will see that the numbers would match. I mean, your mapping would be corrected here. Any other questions? Okay, did you all understand why there is a mismatch in the master list and the Anganwadi Center monthly report? Yes, it will take another month to reflect. Yeah. So only that report, but if you want to see the actual status, you can see it from the master list. Okay, so you will know what the status is. Coming on to the beneficiary report. So this is the beneficiary redressal. We have talked about extensively during our application. So here, whatever, I think Manipur doesn't have much redressals entered. Okay. So there are hardly any redressals that are coming for beneficiaries. I'm sure that Imphal East again. Okay. Yeah. So I think we need to again tell the Anganwadi workers so that they can tell beneficiaries that if they have any concerns, they can raise a ticket here, you know. So It will reflect all the tickets here of the beneficiaries that they have raised. You can monitor that how many tickets has been resolved, how many are pending for how many days. More than 7 days, more than 14 days, or more than 21 days. And accordingly, you can take action. But right now, I think you don't have any tickets, so there is absolutely no monitoring required. उसमें भी कमी है देखा जाए तो. Okay, the next report is beneficiary activity report. So this report talks about the total beneficiaries, how many new beneficiaries have been added in that month of June, because I've taken the June month. How many beneficiaries have been made inactive? How many have been migrated? Category migration. Remember we spoke about two kinds of migration? Two kinds of migration, who will tell me? The types of migration, ma'am? No, yes, you're right, but I want to know the major two categories. How? Center to center and category to category, right? Yeah, so two types of migration. So that is what you can see here. Category migration, which would include pregnant to lactating and all the children migrating categories, or everything will come under category migration. And AWC migration is center to center migration. So I think center to center migration again is 0 for everybody, because it's been deleted, the beneficiary gets deleted when she gets migrated. So again, it's a request to guide the Anganwadi workers to use the migration functionality that we have in the application. I hope all of you remember. Yeah? Okay. Now the last report in this section is active beneficiary. Yes, ma'am, you have anything to ask? Ma'am, you want to ask anything? Okay, so this basically is again a straightforward report. It will tell you the total active number of counts for each beneficiary category of that month, previous completed month. So I hope all these numbers are matching for you, for your districts. Are you all checking? Okay. Now coming to our last section, which is children. This report is very important, the growth monitoring report, children from 0 to 5 years. So this report basically tells you how many children are registered in the Anganwadi center, how many children have been measured in the particular month. So reporting month means whatever month we have selected. Here it is June. Measurement efficiency, and then we all know that there are status, right? Health status, stunting, wasting, underweight, and also we have made overweight ka section here. So please don't talk among yourself. If you have any doubt, please direct your questions to us. So here we have severely stunted, moderately stunted, and not stunted. So what would not stunted mean? All the children who have been measured minus severely stunted and moderately stunted. So basically children who doesn't fall under the stunting category. Similarly, wasting, SAM, MAM, not wasted, and also we have reference data not found column. Would anybody like to explain what is reference data not found? Do you all use this report? Yes? No? This is an important report for monitoring because it tells you how many children have been measured, what is the health of the children. Even if you don't know, any guesses? So what is the reference data not found means? Okay, is there a possibility of not entering the height and weight and click on submit? Okay. Okay, so I'll tell you what it is. As per the WHO charts, the growth charts that we have a range of height and weight, right? Especially for wasting, we have a height range starting from 45 centimeters for girls and boys both, and it goes up to 120 centimeters. So we have the reference data that if the child is between this height range of 45 centimeter to 120 centimeter, then you know the calculation if the child is SAM, MAM or not. But if the child's height goes beyond this range, then we don't have the reference data. So if the child's height is entered less than 45 or more than 120, it will fall under reference data not found. Do you all refer the growth charts? Yeah? So please do observe once, please do go through the wasted growth charts and see what is the minimum height that is mentioned there. Can you all please do? See, we all have the charts here. So if I go to the wasted chart, is my screen visible clear? Visible enough till the end? Or you can also check at your own screens. So if you see the starting range of girl, the height in centimeters starts from 45 centimeters. Okay. So if you are entering anything below this, and we have given a provision in the application to enter below this height because there are children who are falling below this height, right? So that is why we need to give that option so that it can come under the stunting category. But for wasted, this is the reason why you find the beneficiaries in the reference data not found. Is this clear, everyone? Yeah. And also similarly, the outside range also. This is the minimum range and we have 120, I think. So after 120, we don't have the data, right, for wasted category. Okay. Now coming to underweight. Underweight is again, severely underweight, moderately underweight or not underweight. This is again the same as we calculated stunted. And then we have another category of overweight. So if you might have noticed earlier, wasted and overweight were clubbed together. But now we have bifurcated this category also. So because it was part of wasted charts, here also in overweight we have the reference not found column. Okay, because we have just bifurcated it, but it's part of the same chart. For overweight also we use the same chart of wasting. Am I clear? Okay, now let's see how Manipur is doing with respect to numbers. Okay, yeah, so measuring efficiency is really low. It is 28.36% only. And stunted children is 10%. What is this 79%? Not stunted, okay, which is a good thing. 91.6, okay. Okay. So I think your SAM-MAM percentages are very good. Very few kids are falling under the wasted category. But this is with the assumption that the measurements are only very low. So we are talking about a very sample data here. Underweight children are moderately underweight is 6%, severely underweight is 2%. Okay. Obese is 2.35%. We got to know one of the reasons why the children are falling under the obese category. Because I think Gloria mentioned yesterday that even if the child age is more, they get their Aadhaar card made with the lesser age. And so automatically they weigh more. So that is why they fall under the obese category. Okay. So is this report clear to everyone? This is a very, very important report. Yeah? And the next growth monitoring report is for 5 years to 6 years. Earlier one was 0 to 5. So we have made 2 different reports for 5 to 6 years because 5 to 6 years of children do not fall under the wasted category. They cannot be classified as SAM or MAM children. They have a different calculation of BMI as per WHO. So only stunted and underweight categories are there for 5 to 6 years of children here. Otherwise, everything remains same. Here also for 5 to 6, the measuring efficiency is not that great. The best center is Kakching. Am I pronouncing it correctly? I'm not sure. It's 48.31%. And accordingly, it's falling under each category that we have bifurcated. Severely stunted, moderately stunted, not stunted. Severely underweight, moderately underweight, and not underweight. Okay, moving on. The next report is okay. Any questions? Okay. Quickly coming to our next report, low birth rate. Again, this is very straightforward report that the children whose weight is low, so that is why we only have 0 to 6 months category of children will reflect here in the low birth rate report. So 196 children right now for Manipur are low birth weight. The next report is measuring efficiency. Now this is measuring efficiency for monthly report. Here you will find the same details for month of June, how many children category wise. Earlier report that we had seen was district and center wise for incentive. Now this report is category wise, beneficiary category. So how many children were enrolled for 0 to 5 years and also 0 to 6 months, 6 months to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 6 years. And also total 0 to 6 years of children that has been done. How many children were measured? What is the measuring efficiency? Okay. Clear? Why do we have so many measuring efficiency reports? Everything is different. Okay, who will tell me? Measuring efficiency report. So we had one measuring efficiency report in the current month section, right? That tells you about the going on, the month that is currently running. It gives you data about that, how many measurements have been done. The second measuring efficiency report we had seen for incentives. 80% of measuring efficiency achieved. So district-wise, sector-wise, center-wise, you can get that data. And then we had seen in children, category-wise measuring efficiency report. Okay, to give you an idea, category-wise, how many measuring efficiency has been done. Now the last report is children health status from 0 to 5 years. Here also it will give you the monthly count of children that has been measured from 0 to 5 years, and also it will give you all the status. How many children are stunted, severely stunted, wasted, SAM, MAM, underweight, overweight, obese. So it basically will give you the snapshot of the previous month of all these status. जी. रिपोर्ट में बोल रहे हैं. रिपोर्ट में आपको क्यों देखना है बच्चे? आपको तो काउंट से मतलब होना चाहिए ना. सारे बच्चे तो आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर के पास है ही. सुपरवाइजर भी एप्लीकेशन पे देख नहीं पा रहा है. सैम मैम बच्चे. ओके. कोई भी सुपर मतलब नो वन ऑफ यू आर एबल टू सी सैम मैम चिल्ड्रन. You're talking about the report? Yes, yes, yes. So report earlier you could, there were hyperlinks. You could go inside and get the beneficiary details. Previously you were able to do it. Now we have changed and we have made only counts. Because at the supervisory level, you only, and for monitoring purpose, you only need to know how many children are actually under MAM or SAM. If you want to dig deeper inside what children are MAM or SAM, please log in. Either you all have credentials of your Anganwadi workers. So based on the center details you get, log in and check in their application or get a snapshot from the Anganwadi workers that which beneficiaries are SAM or MAM. On report level, for all the reports, you can only see the counts now. Earlier, we were giving you all the details. Now, there only be the counts. There'll be only be the counts. You won't be able to go inside the beneficiaries. Because for a lot of reasons, we have made this change. One is for performance improvement. There are so much of data that every time you click, it used to take a lot of time to upload. There are lakhs of data, lakhs of beneficiaries. Second reason is the ownership of the beneficiaries lies with the Anganwadi workers. So they should have that ownership and responsibility to see the list of the beneficiary details. At the monitoring level, count should matter. Yeah. So these are the reasons why we have removed the hyperlinks. Okay, so we have covered all the reports. Any questions, anyone? Yeah. Okay. Where? Should I go to the master list? Master. Current month? Imphal East? Any sector? Hmm. Okay. Taruni is not your project. Okay. Townie. Okay. Let's see in the, let's check in the master list. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. You want to register the center? So you need to add an Anganwadi worker to the center. Okay, we'll do it together. Still showing unregistered. Okay, we'll check this after this. अच्छा यहाँ पर तो आ ही नहीं रहा है तरुणी. Okay, we will get it checked. It is not coming in this list. Okay, everyone. So I think we have covered the application and the dashboard, and we also have got a couple of concerns that we have noted, and we will get it fixed at our end. All the queries we have noted, so just give us some time, we'll get them rectified. And now I would like to hear from the house. Any feedback? Are you still finding Poshan Tracker to be a headache? I hope that this training was fruitful. Yes? Okay, great. Good to know that. So please do keep in touch with us via the VCs, the state VCs and the trainings that happen so that you all are updated with the new features that are coming in Poshan Tracker. Yeah? And also please handhold the Anganwadi workers to enter the growth monitoring details, which is very low for Manipur, and also the Aadhaar seeding. If you face any challenges with respect to entering the data in application, please do get in touch with us. We will support you, and we will get it rectified. We'll get it fixed. Thank you so much. It was lovely being here and lovely interacting with you all. Thank you for being a good audience. Thank you.